Hey guys, M13 here, which is at the racetrack, and now I'm gonna go get my tires changed. Gonna head downtown. I tried to get them changed yesterday. The guy wouldn't let me. He's like, "Oh, you can still use them a few more times," and then they're kind of expensive tires, so he didn't want me to waste the money. But I'm on the track today, and it's like there's barely any tread left on them, and I'm wearing it away on the track, and then I look down, and it's like I've got next to nothing left, and it's just like my confidence is I'm literally riding slower and slower because I know my tread's getting less and less. I'm like, hey, screw this, I'm just gonna change the tires. Topic for the video is I've had this question a few times, and I'm just gonna cover it. It's gonna be a short video. What's the difference between a low side and a high side? Because it's a term that bikers throw around, and people that don't ride or haven't ridden long don't always know what it means. For this example, we'll use a left-hand turn, for the example. So we'll stick with left-hand turns as I'm explaining it. A low side is when you're turning, like this, turning left, and the bike falls to the left. So when you're turning left and the bike falls to the left, or when you're turning right and the bike falls to the right. The reason why it's called a low side is because your bike's already leaning, and it just drops a bit. It doesn't drop very far. It drops towards the side that's already lower down, towards close to the ground. That's why it's called a low side. Low sides are generally not that bad. It's just kind of like, because you're already leaning over, so you don't fall very far. And then when you're just going to drop like a foot or two to the ground, and then the bike just slides along. And if you don't slide off the road, if you slide off the road and like hit a pole or a parked car or something, then you'd get hurt. But if you have room to slide, then you're generally, especially if you have a protective gear on, they're generally not that bad at all. High side by comparison, and as you probably already figured out what it is, so when you're turning left and the bike flips to the right. So it means, or if you're turning right and the bike falls over towards its left, it'll kind of flip. And the reason it happens, as an example, a low side happens if you're turning left, and maybe you're turning left and you're leaning to the left, and you hit the back brake. Houses on both sides of the road. I slow right the fuck down. Ooh, the fuck down. Ooh. Or maybe you're in a turn and you're leaning to the left and you accelerate too hard and the rear loses traction. I'm picking poor lines here. So a low slide happens when you break traction, when you lose traction. You're turning and you lose traction and the bike just kind of slides out from underneath you. A high side starts off like a low slide, generally, by you losing traction, and then what happens with a high side is it regains traction and then flips you. So that means a low side would be you're turning, I'm trying to get this lined up for the camera. You're turning to the left, and then you lose traction and the bike drops on its left. A high side would be turning to the left, the bike loses traction, starts to slide out, and then regains traction and flips towards the right. And high sides are generally much more damaging to the bike and the person than low slides because it just flips, and the inertia of it the bike can flip so suddenly that it could like break your leg just with its own inertia before you even hit the ground. And that might be a slight exaggeration, but maybe not. And plus you can get really thrown from a high side, and with a low slide, not so much. The way to avoid doing either is just to have good tires, to have good body positioning on a corner. Well, you need to study. You need to study how to take a corner is what you do, and that's a whole nother video. I have a few videos on cornering. You could watch those for a starter. I would highly suggest reading books on cornering. There's a lot of body position rules that you should know to help lessen your lean angle. But the number one rule, if you just want to, the number one rule is don't brake while cornering. Because the majority of cornering accidents are caused from panic braking and also target fixation, but from what I can see, it's mostly braking. That's it. Short video. Low sides, high sides.
Hello everyone, it's Moto 13. Hello everybody, this is my scooter. It is a very nice scooter and I want to show it to you.